The New Orleans Saints bolster their defensive line yet again in the 2023 NFL Draft, and I absolutely love the pick. Let's talk about it right here on the Straight Up Saints podcast.
You're listening to the Straight Up Saints podcast.
What is up, Who Dat Nation? Welcome back inside the Straight Up Saints podcast, brought to you guys by Scott McNair Injury Lawyers. Have you been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore? Scott McNair handles it all. You can give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. So, with the second round pick that the Saints own in this draft, pick number 40, they use it on Notre Dame defensive lineman Isaiah Foskey. And I'm not one of those I told you so type of people. Just kidding. Sometimes I am. And in this case, I will be. I said on the live stream last night, if you were listening, if the Saints wanted to go all in on defensive line early in this draft and get an interior and an edge guy and say, that's it, we did our work, we can go offense the rest of the way, Isaiah Foskey looked like the guy. And there's two reasons I loved it. The first one is something people might not love to hear, but I'll get it out of the way, is if you just go off of his relative athletic score, he's literally got pretty much the same thing as Marcus Davenport. Marcus Davenport was a 9.66, Foskey 9.61. Now, before people say, did we get another Davenport? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Absolutely not. Foskey from Notre Dame in his last two seasons was an absolute playmaker. I'll just read you guys off the numbers if you're one of those type of people. In the last two seasons, 20 and a half sacks in those 2 years. He had, I believe, 25 tackles for loss, 96 total tackles. The guy was an absolute machine. Also had 7 forced fumbles. The dude is a playmaker. Here's what I put down while watching his tape. And I'll go through some positives, some negatives real quick. But as you can tell, I'm amped up about this pick right now. The first thing I put down was playmaker. You just watch him on the field. It doesn't seem like it's just a sack where, all right, you're pushing the offense back, which is great. It always seems like it's a game-changing play from Foskey, which I do love about him. I also talked about his vision, whether it's on the field, whether it's a play he made or a play someone else made. His eyes are always attracted to the football in the best way possible. I love that about him. Now, he plays kind of, you'll read it everywhere, needs to play a little bit better with his hands. I could see where people were saying when I was watching, I think that's something he'll have to get better at, but I don't think that's something that's going to deter him from being a good player. I think that is something he can improve at. And if he does that, there's a good chance his best football is yet ahead. So we'll see what happens with Foskey. But as you can tell, I love the pick. I think for the Saints, and I've said it a million times, you have a defensive head coach. Go get him some dogs on the defensive line and make sure they have enough depth that they can go out there and God forbid there's an injury or two, they got enough to overcome it. Well, what have the Saints done since March? They added Colin Saunders. They added Nathan Shepard. They added Brian Brzee. And now they added Isaiah Foskey. Brzee, Foskey kind of goes together. I'll figure out some stupid pun to make at some point before the season starts. But I absolutely love this pick. I think that Saints fans are quickly going to fall in love with Isaiah Foskey as long as he stays healthy. And I think you might complain and say they keep going back to the well, right? The Marcus Davenports, the Peyton Turners. It's all about staying healthy. It's all about loving the game. I would say one of those guys, you question the passion. The other just has had really bad injury breaks. We'll see if Foskey could be the guy who breaks through for the Saints. But let me know what you think about this pick. Let us know in the comments section below. And as always, stay tuned for more content here on Boo Crew Media's YouTube page and the Straight Up Saints podcast, the destination for the Who Dat Nation.